Okay, what else do we have here? Today we're also, oh my God. So I saw this video this weekend and I'm gonna post about it. I may post about this 800 times. I'm actually meeting with this RA next week, Lacey Rhea. She blew my freaking mind. Okay, so her and Maryellen O'Brien did this session with Cayuse, and it's weird. They did this session in 2022, so it's like 2 years ago. I hadn't seen it, and I did a session called Research Administration Through a New Lens at for APRA, and it's really weird how Lacey and I are like simpatico on a lot of these ideas, like down to using the same language without even knowing that the other existed at the time. Love that so much, right? Because I love it when more than one person, it's like calculus, right? Calculus was invented in multiple places across the world at the same time because some things are just too good to only be one person coming up with the idea, right? Freaking love that. But what's great is that when you get multiple people who have similar ideas and visions for the future together, oof, imagine what can be created. Okay, so here's what I love about this. I want you to go watch this video that she and Maryellen O'Brien did. The video is basically about metrics-based assessment of research administrator workloads. And she breaks down incredibly effectively how many hours we think we have, how many hours we actually have, taking into consideration an enormous amount of factors that I don't think we even consider most of the time. Like some of the stuff that she talked about in here, my mind was freaking blown because we finally have numbers to assign to some things that were previously more abstract conversations. So it was really, really exciting. So she talked about how much time is actually available for a research administrator and the way in which we currently distribute workloads, use award dollars, PIs, so on and so forth, without taking into consideration additional complexities that exist within the position. Now, why I think this is so important is because if you have the change that's got to come in research administration vis-a-vis our salaries, job descriptions, getting enough resources and budgets, is that we need to be able to reframe the public relations, the PR that we have with the people making these decisions. And at this point, they don't have an understanding of what it is that we do. In fact, even people who I would say 15, 20 years ago may have had a general understanding of what research administration does, like research operations and stuff like that, like who were in charge of entire groups of research, right? As opposed to simply just the research administration part, which is how research has been set up for many, many, many years. Even those people at this point do not know what we do. And the field has evolved to the point at which it's a specialty on its own, and you can't put its leadership and decision and trajectory under people who do not have expertise in this area. It's almost like saying, hey, I want the Patriots to win a Super Bowl. I'm going to have Manessa coach them. What? Like, I'm really, really, really good at research administration. Like, really good at it. And I can coach in research administration. But I can't coach a football team. That is not the appropriate place to put me, right? So no matter how qualified someone is or how good someone is, without this granular infrastructural understanding of research administration as an industry and on the theoretical operational level, we become the plus one to whatever other thing it is that this person is doing. And this video is a really great video for all of us to watch. So anyone who is a research administrator in leadership needs to watch this video because it's so beautifully enlightening. And after watching it, I was like, oh my God, you and I have to talk. I feel like what she created, which is also, by the way, a fabulous spreadsheet for benchmarking, is a very big piece of the puzzle towards making a lot of these changes as our industry evolves and gets us to the point where we have base salaries for inexperienced, I have never done research administration in my life, of $85,000. And I will say this forever, right? Well, until COLA increases, and then I'm just going to make that number higher. But if somebody is being brought into this position with zero research administration experience, regardless of whether they have experience doing other things or not, even if they are fresh out of college, the fact that you think they have the skill sets necessary to be able to tactically understand what needs to be done in this job tells you that this person needs to be paid $85,000, right? That's a bare minimum. And then after 18 months in the position, they now have enough knowledge to be at 100,000. And I don't think anyone who's been doing this job for less than a year, for more than 18 months. Sorry, let me say that one more time. I believe that anyone who has been doing this job for more than 18 months needs to be at 100 plus. Okay. That is the level at which this job actually operates. It doesn't matter what you're putting in the job descriptions. It really doesn't. You can put in job descriptions, transfers expenses, fills out spreadsheets, does applications. Great. That's what you put in the spreadsheet. The actual scope and impact of this job is something completely different from what you're putting in the job descriptions. And so one, job descriptions are currently bait and switches where you say, this is what you're going to do. Surprise, this is what you're actually doing. And then two is that they are very, very, very high level analysis of the job that are so high level as to be useless. So for example, I'm going to say that a surgeon cuts things up and sews them back together. You can make anything sound really simplistic, right? The surgeon just cuts people up and sews them back together. What's the big deal? That's nothing. You fly a plane, so you drive. You drive something, right? And can make a job sound like it doesn't really do anything. And our job descriptions are written to be very tactically high. Bait and switch, Kelly. Yep, the bait and switch. It's a very tactical job. Come in, you're going to be doing all these things. Then the person comes in and the expectations of what is required is so far beyond that we have people who are panicking and leaving. They're like, I don't want to do this. And the reason why they don't want to do this is because they recognize it's a bait and switch. I don't think anybody would have a problem doing this if they were being paid adequately for the work that they're being expected to do. But HR needs to get on this stick. Leadership needs to get on this stick. So many people need to get on the stick.